let's talk about what is this smooth cruiser report that is coming from Lyft. So
Yeah,
essentially,
I got this in my app again. I mean, we're on Lyft today, right? This is something that I dreaded, but then I guess we'll have to go through this now.
all right. So yeah, I'll go through this real quick, and then kind of give the breakdown, and then my reasons why. Sergio and Kim and Jeff, if you want to chime in as well. But yeah, the smooth cruiser report, basically what it is, it's going to take your phone and turn it into a sensor to how you drive. It's very similar to the progressive thing that you plug into your car, so it can read all of that data in terms of fast start, slow start, how you drive, if you're whatever it might be. It's basically tracking every step of the way. So basically what they're doing is you have to complete 20 rides to see your report. This is kind of like a game too. It's like, oh, you want everything to be in the green, because they're going to put it in a visual, stunningly way. It's going to make it seem like, oh, if you start too fast, you're going to see red, and you got to fix that, because otherwise you won't. That's what it comes down to. But when we're going to go to this deeper thing, so it says like, will it affect my ratings, driver score, or account status? No, it's not going to. Why is my smooth score different from my driving score? Driving score is calculated using your cancellation rate and different types of rider feedback. And the smooth cruiser report is using data from your phone while you give a ride to calculate the score. How often does the score change? You need a minimum of 20 rides to see. And the smooth cruiser summary and each of the 3 criteria may potentially change daily depending on how much you drive. It resets at the beginning of every month, and then it says, I can't see my score, need to give 20 rides again. Sometimes they reset it. You have to give a minimum ride. You don't agree with your score, can you contest it? If you see your score change and you don't agree, keep in mind that the score is based on the average of each smooth driver factor of the drivers in your region. Practice smooth driving habits. So this is not only taking your phone, but it's also pitting you against other drivers that are in your area. What else do you use these scores for? We don't use these scores to determine your eligibility to drive. Our goal is to give you access so you can practice smooth driving habits on the platform and improve your experience. Right there, bullshit. You know what this is? You know what this is for? This is so they can go to their insurance company and say, hey, look, these are how our drivers are driving. We are trying to train our drivers to drive better and drive smoother. So we accelerate slower and we brake smoother. And we want to try to make driver. Now, I don't have a problem with drivers being safe. That's the way you should be. But I don't give a shit about that score. I'll never even look at that score. They can chime and chirp and do whatever they want. I don't care. I know how I drive. I drive good. And you know what? Here's the thing. There's so many factors out on the road that a sensor in a phone is not going to be able to determine what actually had just happened. And maybe you had to swerve. Maybe you had to brake hard. Whatever it is, there's so many things that are happening on the road. And taking that score is absolutely meaningless. So drivers, do not fall for this shit. Trust me, do not fall for it. This is another one of their tactics trying to get you to drive better. You should be driving safe already. If you're not driving safe, go do something else. I mean, you should be a safe driver nonetheless. This is just basically the back end is so that they could save money on their insurance when they have to get the insurance for these rides.
100%. I agree with everything you said. I'm going to just sum it up. Big Brother is watching. So there you go. If this is not Big Brother watching, I don't know what it is. And a lot of drivers, by the way, that I talked about this, they said their scores are horrible. They're like 20%, 25%. They're all asking me, am I going to get deactivated now? I'm like, not according to what they're saying, but then if you can take their word for it, so next time I do 20 trips, I guess I'm going to have a score thrown at me. Like, you brake hard and you turn fast and you do this. So see, Kim, that's why you do delivery. You don't do rideshare. You don't have any of this garbage in the delivery world. You can drive as fast as you want, and it's so.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, this is a little too Big Brother for me. But then I was thinking, I feel like it's the cynic in me thinking, okay, are they now going to use that? I mean, I don't know Lyft at all, but are they going to use it to say, well, you're not going to get like this type of ride or this type of ride because we have this information on you? And I'm like, whoa, I don't know.
Absolutely could do that.
Potentially.
So here's the thing. This is something that we got wind of, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. maybe actually longer. I don't remember, but Lyft was doing this thing where they were scoring drivers, and it would score you based on factors, whether you touch your screen while you're driving, whether you had an iPhone or an Android, if your phone was actually mounted, or if it was just laying there. They would actually score you on this. And essentially, I think that's kind of what this has evolved into now, is that driving score. So they're using the sensors within your phone to be able to determine how you drive. So then they can go back again to try to save money on their insurance. And essentially that's really what it's coming down to. And then, that's the other aspect of it. Yeah. Could they potentially then give you more or less rides? Well, that's what they were talking about when they were scoring drivers. If you met certain criteria, the thing was you could potentially get 20% more rides than the average based on that criteria, whether you could control those factors or not. Again, like I say, they were looking at phone type. You scored higher if you had an iPhone versus an Android, probably because of the sensors in the phone at the time. And then, new Androids are coming out with the same type of sensors. So has that changed? Probably. And are they probably doing it in the back end? I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it either. And I wouldn't, everything they say that, it doesn't mean anything, we're just collecting data for our own purposes. I'm like, I'm not your data source, buddy. Go collect it from somewhere else. Why don't you go collect it from your 6,000 employees, how they're driving when they're doing this, right? So I'm like, I go like, I have enough already on me. Like, you're watching me, the app, this is the counter argument of all the people. I don't have a boss. Hello, what is that? What does that look like to you guys? Does that look like you have a little
your boss?
Yeah, your phone.
Your phone's your boss.
There's but anyway, so so that's what's out there. I guess next 20 trips, I'm gonna have.
All right, Jeff, real quick, give me a quick thought process on that.
On which?
I think essentially that independence is an illusion, because that same functionality is, I'm sure, easily added to any of the platforms, whether it be Uber, Lyft, or Doordash, with or without our consent. These kind of things, again, this innovation comes in controlling us, monitoring us, data managing us, and ultimately manipulating, coercing, and exploiting us. When they come out with the features that get you paid more, I'll be really, really fascinated to see them. And I've yet to see any of those get paid more features. That's not what they talk about in DoorDash engineering. That's not what they talk about in Uber and Lyft engineering, is how do we get drivers paid more? And, that's not in their interest. That's in our interest. And we've got a real problem here with the gig economy, because our leverage is lower than any employee class before us. So I don't know how this ends. I think we all have to think about this every day, and just the fact that it was created during a pandemic and really took hold in our society doesn't mean it can last forever. Maybe this is a good model and we'll keep it going. Maybe we decide this is a model that's only abused. I don't know, but I think we really need to, again, it's user beware.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.